I am making brown sugar buttermilk waffles. They are fantastically scrumptious and the perfect way to use the brown sugar and the flour. I'm making the waffle batter first, and it's eggs mixed with a good amount of buttermilk. I have learned through the years that buttermilk absolutely makes the most superior waffles and pancakes. I can confirm it. And I'll break up the eggs and whisk this together. Okay, that's slightly mixed, so I'm gonna drizzle in some melted butter, quite a bit. And speaking of delicious waffles, if you add a whole stick of melted butter to waffle batter, they're scrumptious as well. Between the butter and the buttermilk, these are amazing. So I'm gonna add the rest of the brown sugar after I measured some of it out, and that's about 2 tablespoons. Usually I use regular sugar with pancakes and waffles, but oh my gosh, brown sugar adds so much. It makes me wonder why I don't make these more often. Okie doke. Next comes the self-rising flour. And of course, the magic of self-rising flour is that it already has the leavening in it, so you don't have to worry about adding baking soda or baking powder. And then I'm gonna whisk this together. I also added a pinch of salt. The butter is salted and there's a whole stick in here, so you really just need a pinch. Now the thing about waffle batter, same with pancake batter, you do not want to overmix it. So when it just starts to come together, I kind of get into a slow-mo whisking action there. And then I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Now I'm gonna make the brown sugar syrup, and this is where the majority of the brown sugar is gonna get used. It's a whole lot of it. And then to the brown sugar, I'll add a cup of water to help the syrup along, and a good tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. All right, I'll stir this gently, and I'm gonna turn on the heat. And basically, I need to cook this syrup until it's nice and thick and bubbly. So while this heats up, let me fill you in on Lad's morning so far. Lad and the cowboys met first thing this morning to move some cows to make space for new cattle.
I bought some more cows. Those cows are going to be here in a couple hours. So we've got to move 2 pastures over to create a little room for these other cows coming in. It should be a nice, easy morning.
Yeah.
Cowboys Dell and Jackie Joe are on the team with a new recruit, Cowboy Justin.
So it's always nice to have an extra guy that knows what they're doing come and help you.
So they set off to move the cattle with Dell, who has a foot injury, so he's driving the feed truck that calls the cattle. That makes gathering so much easier.
So we feed them, almost every day in the winter, and they're kind of trained to come.
So all in all, the guys have a pretty busy morning ahead. I'll tell you who loves waffles as much as I do, Lad. I think he loves them a little more than I do, I have to say. All right, this brown sugar syrup is all done. It's slightly thicker, and oh my gosh, it smells good. So I turned the heat off, and the last thing I want to do is add some cold butter and just whisk it in. I do this after it's finished cooking, and it just gives the syrup an amazing richness and, of course, amazing flavor. And it's so hot that that butter is almost entirely melted. Just whisk it a little bit more. All right, the syrup is ready, so I'm just gonna let it sit. It'll stay nice and warm. So I have the waffle iron all heated, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook up a couple of these. I sprayed the waffle iron as well, so this won't stick. So I'm just using a regular ice cream size scoop, and I'll do a scoop on each side. And then the second one goes in, and I just kind of coax it a little bit to start the spreading. And I will close the lid. Okay, now the waffle iron is gonna work its magic, and then I'm gonna show you how I like to serve these beautiful waffles.
Come on, girls, go join your buddies. We got the first pasture thrown out. Now we're gonna go get the second one. Hopefully this will be a little easier than this last one was. Red doesn't want to run around anymore.
Everything's going really well out there, but it's going even better in here because look, I have waffles and they don't. Automatically gives me a leg up. Look at that beautiful golden color. I always like to pick the extra done or crispy setting on the waffle maker because I love cutting into a waffle and hearing that crunch. Okay, I'm gonna cut a generous couple of pats of butter. And then here comes the beautiful brown sugar syrup. And it smells incredible. It's partly the vanilla bean paste, but it's also just that delicious sweet brown sugar. And I don't like to add too much to the top of these because they're so simple and beautiful. So I'll just do a little sprinkle of powdered sugar. Just makes it look extra special. Well, it's too bad Lad's not here, but the good news is I have plenty of batter and syrup left over, and they keep really nicely in the fridge, so he can enjoy this exact same breakfast tomorrow.